Hello everyone, Kwarter here, and today we're building a mob drops system that will collect all of the drops from creepers, skeletons, and zombies. Spiders and endermen will have their own tutorials later, so subscribe if you'd like to be notified of when those are uploaded. The first thing we gotta do is make the tower that they're gonna fall from. Now, because they're going to be, we're only gonna be getting tall mobs, each spawning pad will look like this, and then the roof will be like that. So that way we only get tall mobs spawning and no spiders, because we don't want spiders in this, because that'll make it a lot easier for us to build our mob system. So I'm going to go ahead and build the first layer, and I'll join you after that's done. Alright, step 1 is to go 30 blocks up. 30 blocks is the optimum height for making sure that all the mobs die when they hit the ground. Because that's what you want. You don't want a bunch of mobs that are still alive. That's the worst thing that could happen. So let's get pretty high up here. I'm going to go way farther than necessary, just because that's what I do. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so this is at Y52 now. And our ground level is... oh yeah, that'll be perfect. Alright. So we're going to start our pad up here. And I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done building it. Alrighty, and here she is. All done. Well, the first layer anyway. See, the best part about this mob system is that it's expandable as far as the sky limit is, essentially. So I'll show you how it works. We got these pads, and the ceiling will be right here. I'll just have it open so you can see. So the ceiling will be right here over all the pads, so only enough to allow tall mobs to spawn and nothing else. And it's important to have this too high block gap between them, because if it's only one, they can jump back up on the pads and prevent further spawning, which is not good. It's not what we want. And for water, there are 8 source blocks that you're going to need to place, 1 at each corner, and then 4 more at the other middle corners. I'll show you where those go right now. So the first 4 you're going to place in these, and they're going to have to be offset 1 from the main shaft. So instead of stopping right here, you'll have to go 1 block until they're behind this one right here. And you can put the wall out if you want, or just put 1 block. I like to have it look aesthetically pleasing on the outside, but you know, it's up to you. If you're building this in survival, you know, you might not want to waste material. So those will all go in there. And then you just place 1 water source at each corner. Like that. Alright. And there is the first working layer of the mob system. My computer does not like that. Alright. So, yeah, that's the first layer right there. I mean, that's essentially it right there. And all you gotta do is put a roof on there, and you can expand it as much as you want. I'm gonna do 3 layers and test it in the middle of daytime, because that's gonna be the most efficient. And wait, actually, I'll show you how to. I'll build 3 layers as well, but I'll also show you how to make it spawning optional, like with the lamps right here. You can make it so it'll spawn when you want it to, and turn off when you don't want stuff spawning up here. So I'll show you how to do that, and we'll build the lighting system first, and then I'll show you the 3 layers. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, got all the lights hooked up, and I've hooked up this little station down here at the bottom of the shaft. I'm putting the shaft out of all glass, and I'll explain that line in just a second. So basically, we'll be standing right here. The ice will have water right here. And we'll put a sign or pressure plate, that works too, right there, so the water doesn't come right here. And the ice will help the water move faster, but you can just use normal blocks, it'll just be a little slower. Don't worry about it. And the button will activate this piston, which will push all the drops over here, but not push mobs over here, because it's only 1 high clearance. Mobs will clip right through it. This lever, when the torch is on, means the lights are on. When the torch is off, it means the lights are off. Pretty simple. And so that torch goes out here to this line of torches that go all the way up. All the way up to here. And this line, all that, powers this right here. And that powers all these repeaters, which power the torch, which is powering another torch, which turns all the lights on, which you can see right here. So you can see all the lights are on. And if we go down and flip the lever, turns off. And we'll go back all the way up. All the repeaters will be off. And all our lights will be off. Alright, so we're going to try it about a minute-ish of spawning to see how efficient this is before we go on. Alright, I crunched the numbers, and there are 96 spawning spaces up in that one layer. So each layer you add will add 96 spaces. That's quite a bit. Also, it is just daytime now, so we'll not have any hostile mobs up here. There are no mobs up there, you can see by the entity counter. So let's just go ahead and start spawning stuff and see how fast I go. So let's switch to normal, and let it begin. So we already got one up there, not surprising. And you see the E is up there under the Minecraft. You go down 2 lines, so you can see how many entities, which is basically just mobs and other stuff. So like if I throw this block, I believe this counts as an entity. Yep. So there's our first casualty right there. All for science. And see, whenever you want to get the drops, you just push this button, and they'll get sent to you. So very easy. You can also put chests in this room if you'd like. So once it starts, you know, getting up to max efficiency, I'm going to time it for exactly a minute, see how many drops we get out of one layer, and then you'll be able to multiply that number by however many layers you want to make. So if you want to make 3 pads, you can multiply that number. I'll have drops per minute. You can multiply that number by how many layers you're going to make, and you can find out just how efficient your thing is going to be at max efficiency. Now keep in mind that this is a max efficiency and not normal efficiency. Normal efficiency will be in a map where it's not a flat land and the only place mobs can spawn is in a thing. It's going to be mobs are going to be able to spawn in caves and other places. So you'll need to light up a bunch of caves if you want to get yours to max efficiency in your world. So we'll let this go for a little bit, and I'll come back with the maximum efficiency for one layer, and then you can just multiply that by however many layers you're going to make, and you got your efficiency. Alright, we had a small problem with the mobs getting jammed right here near the central funnel, so I just put a block in an upside down half slab to prevent them from jumping and getting all jammed up here. So that should fix your problems if you got a one layer mob trap, but if you have more than one, then you're just going to have to let them fall straight down. But if you're just building one layer, that's a very good way to increase your efficiency on this trap. So now we're going to find out the actual drops per minute, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, the numbers are in, and it looks like we got about 9 to 15 drops per minute. Now that may not sound like a whole lot, but if you leave this thing running for a little while you're near your base, which is maybe, you know, on a server or wherever you're building this, I mean, if you leave it for like 5 minutes, you already got like around 50 drops. I mean, that's quite a bit. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it really starts adding up to a ton. So to even prove my point more, I'm going to just add another layer and sit by it for a little while and let it run. And then we'll come back after I've already built the layer. You'll see that I've built it. And then we'll test it with 2 layers instead of 1 and show you how efficient it is. And that'll pretty much wind up this video. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright, I added the second layer, as you can see. And we now have 192 spaces. My goodness, it's massive. So, in theory, this should double the output of drops. So I'm going to go ahead and put a roof on it. And then we'll get to testing that, and that'll be the end of this video. Alright, we got nothing up there. You see 0 entities. We got a couple slimes and random stuff out here. But we're going to go ahead and start the spawning. So this will take a second to turn off the lights. There's no lights on the top one. If you want to see how to put lights on the top layer, then just send me a personal message, and if maybe 1 or 2 people request it, I'll do a video on it. But right now, I'm not going to do it just because it's kind of simple. I mean, all you got to do is put them in the roof, but if you guys really want a tutorial, I'll make one. So, oh, right. I got to switch off peaceful. So we're going to do this on normal just as a baseline. We already got 3 mobs spawn. And as soon as like 3 or 4 mobs fall down, I'm going to start the timer and it'll be on screen. So we got to wait for a couple to fall down first. Alright, so there's 1. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 fall down and then I'll start. And we're going to start with an empty inventory. Alright, so the timer starts now. Isn't this exciting? We'll see how many we get per minute, but I think I'll also do like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that, just to get a comparative baseline. So I'm just gonna go away for a minute and leave this running and see how it turns out in a couple minutes. Alright, looks like we just hit the 2-minute mark just a second ago. Oh, 3 minutes. Yeah, I just went to the bathroom and came back, so I haven't really been keeping track. I'll have a timer on screen. I'm looking at my clock that's on my computer, though, so I'll be able to tell approximately when 5 minutes is up, but we can call it right when it turns that, and we'll have an approximate amount. So, but I mean, as you can see, this is a really good rate for not using too many materials. I mean, you gotta use quite a bit of blocks, but you really don't have to, like, you know, get a ton of stuff. I mean, besides redstone for the torches, and even that's optional. The light system. But, I mean, all you need is a cobblestone generator, and you make all this easy. A bucket of water, and you're pretty much set. So, I mean, it's not hard to build by any means, and it's very simple and effective. It'll work on servers, too. Speaking of which, while we have a minute or so, my server, I'm still working on trying to get it ready for the public, or whitelisted public, anyway. I mean, you can send in applications if you like, but I'm trying as fast as I can to get that up and running so we can start playing on it. I have to get a bunch of plugins set up and make sure they're working right, and just a bunch of stuff to prevent griefing, because that's my main thing, is preventing griefing. Because I don't want griefers ruining it for those people that actually want to play. So, yeah, just thought I'd say that. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it up as fast as I can. I know I made that video about it going up quite a while ago, a couple weeks, I think, by now, maybe 2 or 3. But I am trying. It's just taking longer than I thought, with all the bucket updates and all that. Oop, looks like we've hit our mark, so let's go ahead and stop the spawning. Alright, so we got 30 and 26, it's 56 in about 5 minutes. So yeah, that's about 10-ish per minute, which is really good. I mean, for not a ton of blocks, I mean, that's pretty darn awesome. And I mean, you can make this as tall as you want. You can make this 10 layers if you wanted to with the new height limit. You start from bedrock, you light up all the caves, and this is maximum efficiency. Again, so you're probably not going to get, like, as much drops, but you'll definitely get a ton using this, because in your world you'll have caves and stuff that'll have mobs spawning in them. The best time to use this is at the middle of the day, so you definitely want to just be around the area of the spawner. As long as you're within 32 blocks of it, it'll spawn stuff in there. So you just have to be within that range, and you'll have stuff dropping consistently, and you'll have tons of stuff you won't even know what to do with. So, this has been Kwarter, and I'll see you guys next time when I do a spider spawner. Or a spider spawner trap. Just like this one, a fall trap. Or maybe a drowning trap. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.